Hi gamers, today it's time to boldly go where no man has gone before and play Star Trek the game. Let's check it out. Alright, so as you see, this board is how you set things up. It's a huge board. Look at my hand there and look how big the board is. You have these little triangle tiles. You can mix them up and put them anywhere you want. You got these little braces there to hold them in place. You're going to have 2 dice to roll. Everyone's going to start off with mission cards. They're going to pick 4 mission cards and they're going to complete 3 out of the 4 missions, and that's how they're going to win the game. And if you look at these mission cards, mine are different. I have to visit 2 advanced civilizations. Engineering Officer Scott requires dilithium crystals, so I gotta find some dilithium crystals. I need to look at a quasar and have Mr. Spock examine it. And then, here, I have strange signals received from the vicinity of a red giant star. I need to go there and investigate. Ooh, now as long as I don't have to complete all 4, if I want to I can, but I only need 3 to win the game. Now, you keep these secret from all the other players and you don't let them know what cards you have. And looking at some of these pictures, look at these starships. They come in red, blue, green, and yellow, and they start off on their little bases. And that's how you'll start the game. The highest roller will go first. These dice feel nice. They look normal, but they have a nice feel to them. I don't know exactly what they are, but they feel nice. Now, what you're going to do on your turn is you're going to roll these dice. And as you're rolling the dice, this is called warp speed. So if you look here, I'm going 6. So I can go 6 spaces here. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I dead ended. Do I stop there? No. I have to bounce back out and go 6. I have to reach these little stars all over the board on exact count. And you say, now Matt, that can get tricky because, I mean, heck, what if you can't roll a 1? You'll always be going bouncing back and forth from star to star. No, because the other way you can travel is by impulse power. And impulse power lets you travel 1 for your turn. So let's say that was my first turn. My second turn, I'm going to go to impulse power and come right in. And we always like to say, more impulse power, Mr. Sulu. It's just fantastic. I think you almost have to say that. Impulse power, Mr. Sulu, as you pull on into the star. Now, when you get to a star, any of these stars, you're going to pick a star card. And for instance, this one is oh, check it out, it's a red giant star, right on. Now, if you see, I am on C in this section here. So I'm going to go to the corresponding board here, put the card here under C, to let everyone know this is a red giant star. Now, as you see, as you shuffle the deck, stars will always be different every game you play. Now, to show that I've been there, I'm going to take one of my player markers right here, and I'm going to place it right here on the board to show that I've been there. Now, I have to have all 3 of my player markers on all 3 of my areas to secure a victory. So, meaning maybe I found dilithium crystals and a quasar. If someone else were to go to this red giant, they would, let's say I was traveling somewhere across the galaxy here and green came. Well, green would replace mine with one of theirs. And then my little red giant star mission wouldn't be completed, which is sad. Now, to be honest, that does happen from time to time, but not so often because there are more red giant stars in the galaxy. But other players may take note of that. Now, let's say that as I'm traveling through here, if you see, there are 3 different paths here, star paths, red, yellow, and green. You can only travel on the star path that you started on. So for instance, I came out in red, I can only travel on red. Well, what happens here? This is a dead end, this is yellow. And I can go all the way through here, but that's yellow. How do I get to yellow? Okay, well look, if I go through my star base, which does count as a square here, I hit here, and then the little white route reroutes me onto yellow. And if I was on red and I wanted to go to green, I could reroute through Earth and be on the green track. And then over there, there'd be a dead end there, so I have to go back to red, then to yellow. There's ways to get across the whole board, but you're constantly having to dip into these little planets like Earth and Vulcan or one of the other star bases just to reroute yourself to get on one of the different color maps. And like I said, in this example, there seems to be better yellow routes than anything else, but you mix this up again and red has a dominant route or green has a dominant route. You know, but anyway, a lot of times you are stopping by the planets or star bases in between missions like you would in a regular episode of Star Trek. Now the game proceeds to go on as people are exploring stars and they're pulling up star cards. And in here you can have stuff like a white dwarf, a secret Klingon outpost. There's Vigor, baby, because this came out during the first movie. A binary star system, a quasar. Ooh, I need to find where that is. Earth-like planet. All these are missions that you would have that you may need in the game. Now, one of them, a bad one, is hostile aliens attack. If your starship gets disabled, then you must, before completing any more missions, you must return back to your base. You can just pass right through it. Once you do, you can discard this card and go back and explore the galaxy trying to complete your missions. Now, finally, as you're going through the game, the galaxy is going to start looking like this. You're going to have cards everywhere. You're going to know what stars are where, and people are going to be trading off. When someone completes 3 missions, all they have to do is get back to their colored base to win the game. However, if another player lands exactly on their square and they have all 3 missions completed, that other player can send them somewhere else, anywhere on the board. Like, that's blue, I don't want him to get there, I'll send him way back here to this planet. So now he has to travel all the way back here again. But I have to do that by exact count. So that's a danger to the person completing their missions trying to get home. In some cases, you may want to go ahead and complete 4 missions just in case someone maybe takes over one of your missions and you lose that one. Either way, if you complete 3 missions and make it back to your starbase in time, you are boldly going where no man has gone before. And that's the winner section. All right, so final thoughts. What do I think about this game? Well, beam me up, Scotty. I am definitely loving this game. If you look at the cover, it looks completely boring. And you look at the board, and it looks completely boring. But I gotta tell you something, folks. It is dripping with theme. For a children's game to be this good, you actually feel you're the Enterprise, going out and exploring new galaxies, looking at finding new civilizations, coming across Klingons and Romulan secret bases. And there's another one where you have to transport an ambassador from Earth to Vulcan or Vulcan to Earth. And it's like, wow, there's so much here. It feels like you are playing the game. Now, I've heard people talk about how Star Trek Fleet Captains is really good. I haven't played it yet, but I strongly believe this is the kiddie version of Star Trek Fleet Captains because it does everything for you. It's easy to learn, easy to teach, and fun to play. My little nephews love this game. My wife loved this game when she was beating me. Now that I've been beating her, it's not really her favorite. But my nephews absolutely love it. You can switch up the board. Of course, the stars are the same because you can shuffle the cards in there. I'm shocked. I'm shocked at how good this is. Now, I can't take credit for finding this game. That was actually a good friend of mine, THX1138, who did a review on this about a year or so ago. And I only watched it because I liked him. The game looked completely, when I saw the cover and I saw the board, I was like, ugh. It didn't look appetizing at all. And then I sat and watched the gameplay because, like I said, I really liked the guy. And I loved it. I was like, wow, that's amazing. True story, I was at the Knoxville Comic Con when I watched that video in my hotel room right before I left. I left, and 20 minutes later, I went to a booth, and there was this staring me in the face. It was like fate had said, Matt, we have shown you the game you need to get next, and here it is. And the guy even offered it to me for $15. That was half off what he was asking. I didn't know if I wanted to spend 30, but when he said 15, I was like, here's my money. Now, I am missing a little bracket, a brace for the board. It doesn't affect the game. It just kind of makes it shaky on certain corners, but that's really all right. Overall, I think this game is a definite winner. I love it. I like Star Trek. I love this game. If you don't want to pay the big money for Fleet Captains but want to have the Star Trek experience, but what I hear from all these other Star Trek games, not all of them but a lot of them, they don't carry the theme very well. This one drips theme, and that is definitely what you want in a Star Trek game. So I think you can get it still pretty cheap online, and if you love Star Trek or your parents love Star Trek and you're trying to get them into board gaming, this is the game to get. I love this game. Star Trek the game, well worth your time. All right, gamers, that is all the time I have for now. Until next time, live long and prosper.